the miles and cars now, whichever get up. Light up my card with a sweet one blaze. Someone flicks me a bag it up. Say, oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah. It's a full strand, yeah. Oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah.
Hello, good evening, and welcome, guys, to episode 21 of Crossroads in Boxing. Tonight, with myself, CJ Spate. Just above me, then, got Ricky the Hands of Stone, and the main man, Eric ERF. Evening, boys. How are we? Are we okay?
Good,
yeah,
good,
good, mate. You?
Internet, because I feel like as soon as I've gone live, it seems a bit jumpy at the moment, and Ricky's frozen.
No. I think you're okay.
Is it frozen on yours?
No, you're not freezing. No, we're
good. Ricky, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Am I loud, clear? Is my screen working?
You're all fantastic, all beautiful. Your microphone's clear. Lovely.
Oh, it's crystal.
We've got another good episode tonight, guys. We're going to be joined by Joe Hayden. Obviously, he's coming off that massive performance at the weekend, so we're all excited to ask him a few questions, get to know him a little bit better. Hopefully, you guys can maybe ask him a few questions in the chat. Before we get going, we're just going to go to a short D-Rock commercial clothing break.
D-Rock.
And we're back.
We're back.
CJ, why are you so small? Oh, Eric's fucking around.
I'm messing about with it.
Just leave it. I'm fine.
I've
only got a little pea head anyway, so it don't matter.
You've got a beautiful.
Right, guys. So the first thing we were going to touch on, we're going to have to call it my boxer's debut curse. I keep bigging up these fighters, and they're either having lackluster performances or, as it looks now, retiring. Hello, Eric.
Oh, yeah. Hello.
All about Eric,
ladies
and gents.
Don't worry about me. Carry on.
Delicious Ori. Ricky, what's happening? What's the news?
I think what's happened is I don't know if anybody knows this, right? But I interviewed Leo Tang the other day, and I mentioned to that guy that, you know, his roads may enter and cross Delicious Ori's path. Is that a fight he would look forward to? And Leo Tang said, yeah, 100%. Let's get that one on. And I think Delicious, or somebody that knows Delicious, has heard this in the background, that Leo Tang is after this guy, and he's thought, fuck that.
Can we say, can this be an iBoxingHub exclusive? Can we make a headline of that?
On a serious note, though, it was one of those performances, isn't it, where we were looking at it, and it weren't like we weren't like, not like we're not impressed with him, but it weren't what we were expecting to see. There were no like killer instinct. The shots didn't look like they had that much venom in them. They looked like they didn't have a lot of heart in them. So when you then go and see like his statements that he's put out and everything else, you sort of think, well, is that why? Like, is it just he's fell out of love with the sport? He's committed all his childhood and teenage years to it. He's had a great amateur career. He's got a degree in the universities. Is it something that he lost? Maybe he had a bad experience, something that we don't really know about, and it made him think twice. But whatever's happened anyway, it's a shame, because it were looking. You've got Atwama, you've got Delicious Ori, you've got Leo Tang. It was looking pretty juicy for those guys to all end up on a collision course together. I'm a bit disappointed, but if your heart's not in it, it's a dangerous sport to be in if you're not going to be all the way in it. It's all or nothing with boxing for me. So fair play to him and good luck to his future and whatever he decides to do, which I believe is the corporate world.
Oh, yeah, well, he says that's what he's going to do. He's going to use his degree, find a way to use his degree and put that to use. Fair play to him, because if you, like you said, if your heart's not in boxing, it's a hard sport business to be in. Just the sport of boxing itself is hard enough, let alone the business side where we don't know half of the stuff what goes on and stresses what fighters have to go through. On his performance, obviously his one and only performance as a pro, it wasn't a great performance, but we also said that maybe a week or a couple of weeks ago, CJ, a couple of weeks ago, we said you've not really heard anything about him since that loss. You'd think they'd have him out there, they'd get him in front of cameras and stuff like that, just to get that performance off of people's minds. Announce him on another show. Look at Atoma. Atoma fought on Saturday night. He's already announced that he's going to be fighting on the Usyk Dubois card. So that's what I sort of expected. And when you didn't hear anything from Delicious and you didn't get any interviews or news clippings or anything, even Frank and that, not even talking about him, not even saying too much about him, for me was kind of a red flag. And when I saw it pop up, I sent it straight to you, CJ, and I was like, you know what? I wasn't even surprised when I saw it. I was like, wow, it's actually happened. But go on, CJ. Yeah,
talk about kick me when I'm down, mate. Sending me out stuff, just to dig boot in. But yeah, if it is true that the statement, obviously, we never truly know anything, do we? That's only what's been released. If it is true that it just didn't feel like the fire were there anymore, certainly the heavyweight division is something that you need to be all, like Ricky says, it's all or nothing. You're in with the big boys there, aren't you? Any punch can change your career instantly. Such a decorated amateur. What he's been through as a junior, right the way through to finishing as a senior, and then turning pro, he could certainly have had a massive career, but it clearly is just up to him, because he would have been pushed regardless of his performances. Even if he'd have had another 6 that were terrible, he would have just kept being pushed for his name. Again, he's massive in corporate world, apparently, with his degrees. I didn't know this until the other day. He turned down a contract from WWE, apparently.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that when he turned pro.
Maybe that's something he's going to go into. But yeah, I wish him the best. I hope I didn't curse him. I really do. I'm not going to say anything about any debuts anymore. Like Casey Ducey, I'm going to let Ricky and you take over that one, mate, because I don't want to jinx. So, yeah, we wish him the best. It's a shame. It's a shame because he's a massive name. I enjoyed watching him as an amateur. I got to see him box a few times. I think I watched him box in Birmingham once at championships. So yeah, just all the best, and hopefully he's made the right career choice for himself.
Yeah, definitely all the best to him, and hopefully what he's chose to do instead of boxing works out for him.
And speaking
go on. I was just saying that going off from one retirement, going from one retirement to a debutant. Is it Casey like you was about to go to?
Yeah, literally. I tell you, mate, great minds. I tell you.
Yeah, I was about to do the same. Well, you're flipping it from retirement to debut. We have obviously a friend of the channel. Me and Ricky's interviewed CJ and Ricky Noza. Casey Ducey makes a pro debut on July the 5th at the Magna Centre. If anybody's interested in going to that fight, there's a link in her bio on Instagram, so check her out. Will certainly, I think Ricky
zoned out.
We lost you then, Eric, for a second. You flipped out.
Yeah,
Rick,
that worked.
You take over, Rick.
Yeah, it's just anybody that wants to join in, there's a link in their bio for her Instagrams. Check out on iBoxingHub. We've got a YouTube interview with her as well. She's a great amateur pedigree. And me and CJ have seen her in the gym. We've seen her training. We've seen her sparring world champions, and she could potentially be one for the future. She's on Spice Boys under show. CJ hopefully potentially could be working that show as well. I'll be there as well. Hopefully, maybe trying to get a couple of interviews. We'll fingers crossed, but good things. I'm hoping for Casey Ducey.
Shall I say something or not jinx it?
No, say something. Say it.
Am I? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
just juddering just a little bit. But yeah, fantastic amateur. We've been fortunate enough to be ringside for a sparring. Ricky and me have taken her on the pads while she was training for the championships. Yeah, loads of potential, loads of talent. Obviously, coming out of a really good gym, which we've both worked at a time. So yeah, the future's bright. The future's bright for so many debuts at the minute. If I can be the man to say that, I don't know if that's a good thing, but there's so much talent coming through at the minute. Us being IBH North, trying to focus that little bit more on Northern. The talent coming out of the North, Ricky, is just immense at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good. You've got quite a lot of Yorkshire, and I like the guy that we just mentioned as well, Leo Watang. You've got Casey Ducey, all coming through the amateur ranks, all national champion winners. Amateur pedigree is unreal. And then there's just bundles and bundles of talents. The amateur boxing gyms at the moment that I've seen are absolutely stacked. Like, there's so many kids going. And it's a good thing as well because it's getting kids off the street. It's one of those where I've had thoughts, like it's one of those where could governments do a little bit more for sports, like a bit more government funding, making sports a little bit cheaper and a little bit more accessible, get even more kids off the street, put the knives down, pick up your fist, get in the ring and learn how to do it a proper way, because it is coming to a point where I just feel like boxing as a sport is getting a little bit dearer. Like, some clubs, can be up to £15 to £20 a week. It's hard work to get kids, people. This day and age, the finances for families is that tight at the moment. It's one of those things where surely they could give a little bit back and get some more. It doesn't even have to be boxing, any sport. Just get some funding into sports, governmental, and help out families and kids get off the streets and off the consoles and into sports and learn something good and new and a skill that they can take forward with them. And that's my little rant and rave.
Ricky for Prime Minister.
It's a quiet weekend as well this weekend with boxing, because you've got the Caleb Plant show overseas on that's on Amazon Prime Video. If anybody's got any subscriptions to that, check that out. That'll be a good show. Jamal Charlo as well, 33-0, really good boxer, Jamal. But yeah, that's really it, isn't it? And there's not really much going off. It's one of those quiet shows. One of the few of the quiet shows.
We'll just say quickly, big up to Trey, the tremendous one, who's put big up to the Yorkshire brothers. Looking forward to this one. Thank you, mate. Thank you for everything, as always, mate. You are one of our mighty leaders. We're really thankful for everything you do for us. How's it going, Ezra? You sorted up top?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
All right. Well, George just come in anyway, so he's ready.
We'll let CJ do the announcements.
So, guys,
been up any second now.
Our special guest Joe Hayden is just coming live on the screen. Apparently, he's just doing his makeup. I'm hearing. Maybe not.
It's funny you say that, because I actually got it propped up on a whatever you call this thing somewhere. Anyway. But it's chuffing. It's bright. I've just looked at lights and it's chuffing. All I see is flashing lights now, so that's messing me up a bit.
Oh, is it?
Hi, mate. How are you doing? Thank you for coming on as well, pal. We really appreciate it.
Oh, all good, mate. All good. How are you?
We're buzzing, mate. We're buzzing to have you on. Yeah. Should we jump straight in, Rick? Do you want to get straight at him?
Yeah, let's get straight into it.
How are you feeling after your performance, mate?
Yeah, I feel good. I'm buzzing. Watched it back about times, and I was happy with it, because on the night I thought I'd won pretty comfortable, but I weren't sure what I made in my performance, and I watched it back and I thought I'm quite happy with that, actually. And watching it back, it was a good fight as well. I watched it like critiquing myself, seeing what I could have done better, and then I watched it as like a neutral, and then I thought, you know what, it's a good fight, that. And I started to enjoy it, yeah. So no, it was a good fight, to be fair. Good to watch.
Yeah,
it was really tough. Go on, Ricky. Sorry, mate.
No, I was just saying that I was literally, because we were at the show doing the media, me and Eric, and we literally got in, because I was traveling down from Newcastle. I got in right at the back end of the contest, so I've literally just watched it back today, and one of the better fights of the night for me. Like for a prelim fight as well. Like you did yourself so you and Lewis Booth did yourself so proud in that fight. Like you could see you really both wanted that win. And going into it for me, it was like a real 50-50. It was a good step up for you both. Both got winning records. Both, obviously you at the time 17-0. I think Lewis Booth was 16-1 maybe, and it was one of those where I was like, how do we split these guys? But Joe, you're a boxer. You didn't have much of an amateur career, did you? I don't know if you're the guy that I used to see Dave Allen coaching in his garage on the socials. Are you him by any chance? Like you used to coach in the garage and that. I can't remember.
That might have been Danny Morell that in garage.
Yeah, I think it was Danny.
I think I missed the area at garage. I were on the patio.
You're the patio warrior, aren't there?
Yeah,
on the flat slabs.
on patio dreams, mate. It's funny. We was on about it earlier because obviously Dave's looking at moving out now, and we were saying about. It'd be weird seeing someone else like we got a bit of a sentimental value with patio now. It's not just a regular patio anymore.
It's not just a smashed to bits patio. It's not just debris.
You know what?
Memories, isn't there?
It used to actually be quite a nice patio. It used to be a lovely patio actually, but it's been stepped up and down that many times now. It's cracked to bits, but ankles are safe so far.
That's it. That's all that matters.
Coming back to the show, Joe, how did you find the experience, mate, of being in an arena? How did you find? Was you a bit daunting going into it? Obviously, it was a bigger fight for yourself and Lewis, as Ricky said, both going into it with winning records. Was there some big nerves going in, or was you just confident the whole way through?
Yeah, to be honest, I just felt confident the whole way through. To be fair, I feel like I kind of took it in my stride. The whole stadium and big show. All that feel to it. I think I just sort of put it to the back of my mind, and all I focused on were the fight itself. I said it in press conference on fight week about the obviously fighting in the stadium and on a world title bill and stuff like that. I said I'll think about that afterwards. All I'm bothered about at the minute and all that's in my mind at the minute is fighting Lewis. So yeah, that's all I was really bothered about, to be honest. Now I look back at pictures and I think that was sick. But at the time, it never really crossed my mind, to be honest.
So when obviously fighting Lewis is probably your first step-up fight because you didn't have much of an amateur pedigree. You've been fighting near enough every month. When you started, you fought every month just about, and now you've gone to every 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is the plan for this year? Is it the same every 2 months? Get out there, or are you going to slow down a bit, or you just keeping that momentum going?
Yeah, so we're going to slow down a bit this year now. Now I've got the experience in now, and we're pushing on to the 8-rounders and looking to do 10-rounders. Start having a bit of a gap in between fights now, letting my body recover properly, and actually doing camps now. So no, I'm looking forward to it, to be fair.
What would you say? I'll just nick that one, Rick. Between you and your team, what would you fancy? What next for yourself? I know you just said them pushing on to your 8 and 10s. Are you eyeing up any belts? Are you eyeing up any names? What's on your mind or your team's mind?
Yeah, I've not really given that much thought, really. Like names wise and who to like potential opponents and who have you. Like Dave wants me to have a couple more 8-rounders, keep getting that experience in, and that's what I'll do. But yeah, I've never really looked at someone and thought I'd like to fight them. I think, to be honest with you, I'll fight whoever I get told to fight, whether that's whoever's got a certain title or what have you. Whatever name I get given and whatever name Dave puts in front of me, that's who I'll fight.
Yeah, brilliant. So what would you say got you into boxing? What made you want to be a boxer?
I'm not too sure really, because I had a skills bout when I was 11 years old, and I boxed for a year or two when I was 11 to 13 maybe, and then I packed it in and went on to play football and whatever, and then I packed football in, and because I'm always like keep busy, I like to be active. Because I always went to the boxing gym pre-season and stuff, keep fit. I used to spar and that, but I never got carded up and never boxed. So I went back down to the boxing gym just to keep fit, and just got booked for it. Carried on going down, and then I had an amateur. I got carded up. I had an amateur bout there, and then we went into lockdown, and then that's when my little brother, he went down boxing. He went down training with Dave and Danny Morell. And he texted me and he said, "Oh, do you want to come down day after?" Like, so I went down with my little brother, and then just been there ever since.
What has Dave taught you? Like media side of boxing, and obviously doing these interviews and face-to-face interviews. Has Dave give you any pointers on stuff like that? Because obviously, I bet it's daunting for us anyway. It was mine and Ricky's first show as media on Friday at your show. So it was like a bit daunting getting up to fighters asking them, but seeing you guys do interviews and stuff like that, you look quite polished off at doing it. Do you have pointers, or is it just off the rip and you just go with it and learn as you go?
Yeah, no, it is daunting. I remember the first ever time I had a camera in my face with big light and everything. It was terrifying. It's scarier than actually fighting. But that's the best thing with Dave, because you see how Dave is in front of a camera and how good he is in front of a camera. Since day one with Dave, when we've been going out to all these shows, he just puts it on you, and he gets people just come and interview you. And it might not even go out, it might not go anywhere, but he always gets the camera on you. And I guess it's to give you the experience for times like this. And like, he'll always, whenever Dave's doing an interview, he'll always get us in on the interview as well, and get us to say a few words or whatever. And over time, you just get more comfortable, I guess, doing it. And yeah, I used to hate it and try and avoid it at all costs, but now we obviously over the years of doing them and with the experience and stuff, I actually quite enjoy them now. I don't mind them at all, to be honest.
Good, mate. And again, thank you for coming on to us, mate. We do really appreciate it. We're trying to build something, get a bit bigger, particularly for Northern fighters, get a bit more press and media attention to like young lads like yourself, who's obviously you've just had a massive career-changing win there. That's going to push you up. So little things like this hopefully will lead you on to even bigger things in the future, mate.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me on.
Yeah, I've got a quick one here, mate. What is it in between your boxing? Like you just said there, you're going to start having a bit more breaks and proper camps. What do you do when you're not boxing? What are you interested in? I know you said football then before. Do you still play a bit of footy, or what's your hobbies?
To be honest with you, it's just all I do is train and box. It's all I do really. Away from boxing, it's just staying active. I like to go on long walks and hikes and stuff like that. Just be active doing that, and just out that's I'm just going to swimming recently, so I don't mind going to do a bit of swimming or rock climbing. Anything that keep me busy, like that paddle that people started playing. I don't mind that paddle or stuff. Anything to keep me busy, really. I just like to be active and doing something.
I don't understand this. Go on, Ricky. Sorry, go on, Ricky. I'll go after.
What would you say? What's your biggest aspirations in boxing? Like, what fighter do you want to be like, or base your style off of? What would you say is your main inspiration for boxing?
I want to win that British title. That's my main dream.
Yeah.
To win that British title, that is the goal. If I were to do that, I'd be absolutely made up. Yeah, that I've made it in my eyes. If I win that, that's my world title. Anything past that's a bonus. But that British title for me, that's the dream.
Yeah, it's the best belt as well by far.
By far,
yeah, I think we all prefer that.
I've been living with Conor Walker the last few weeks. Obviously, when we've been in Manchester for Dave's camp for Fisher fight, and he had his British title on him, and it's a beautiful belt to look at, like, isn't it?
Did you try and nick it?
Well,
quick swift it.
You just ruined that for CJ, because we was talking before. He was like, "Who's the British champion at his weight?" He was like,
Conor Walker.
Yeah. Margo Conor, yeah.
What's that like?
He's going to keep it warm for me, he says.
Yeah. So you're looking at the British title, and your friend has got that title. Like, what is that like then? As somebody that might not understand that, you see friends all the time getting in the box ring and punch each other to absolute bits. What is it like to have something you look like, respect and appreciate, have that belt and you wanting that belt? What is that like for you?
It just, So obviously I look up to Conor because he's the British champion. Conor is where I want to be. Obviously, I'm nowhere near that level yet. So where Conor is, I'm still a year or two away from where he's at. But he's an inspiration to look up to because he's where I want to be. So seeing what he does in the gym and outside the gym, to get to where I want to be, I need to be doing the same things.
Obviously, in the sport of boxing, who is that one fighter that's your favourite fighter? But obviously, outside of being a pro yourself, who's that fighter you watch and you look forward to seeing? Not Dave. Don't say Dave.
Dave.
No, I'll be honest. I watch a lot of. I won't really say there's someone at the minute that I watch, and I watch a lot of old boxing as well. Like I like to watch a lot of like Mike McCallum and James Toney, fighters like that. I like to watch fighters like that because they do a lot of things quite similar. The things that Dave teaches us, it's sort of like similar to the way that they fight, and I just think they do everything properly. And I like to watch the old fighters like that.
Oh well.
We've got some like younger people that tune in. Ricky's young lad's just starting his career really in amateur boxing, mate. So for any younger lot that want to get into it and who look up to you as a local lad, what would you say? What would you say to them to keep going, to get involved with boxing, maybe even when times are hard, or like yourself, take yourself for instance, mate. You didn't have like a massive amateur career. You know, you've not done Olympics, stuff like that. That's some amateurs do come up and do. What would you say to them? You've kept going, and now look at you as a pro. You know, you're riding up a British title. What would you say to the younger generation?
You just got to stick at it and be persistent. I mean, look at Dave, the career Dave's had, and now he's on top of the world at the minute. You just got to stay in there and just keep believing in yourself and keep going, because your time will come eventually. And if you're constantly working hard, there's no reason why not. If you work hard enough, then your time will come.
Is there next time you're out? Is there a date penciled in for when you're next supposed to be out?
We're looking at September, I think, next out, yeah.
Oh, so you'll be having a proper long camp for this one then, this next fight. You expect it to be a step up from Lewis?
I've actually had my first week off in 4 years this week. And
when did you go for a walk?
Yeah, what was that like?
I've been itching and twitching my twat off every day because I can't jump in. No, but to be fair, I've been training lads, so that's kept me busy, and I've been, like I said, I've been doing at least 5 mile walks every day just to get out and keep myself busy. Like, but to be fair, I've enjoyed it. Once I've mentally accepted that I were having a week off not training, I've enjoyed it. I feel rested and recovering now. Now I can't wait to get back to it Monday.
When you finished that fight with Lewis, what was your go-to meal? What did you have?
You know what it was? So it was so anticlimactic. Like I'm a bit upset about it, to be honest. So genuinely, I was really upset after. I was upset. So me and our lads would plan for weeks and weeks that we're going to have a Domino's after the fight. I did it last fight. It was lovely. I had a Domino's after the fight. So nice. So all camp, I've had this Domino's in my head. And I knew exactly what I was getting, and been counting down days to get to having this Domino's. So I had to fight and that, and then I'd got back home. I think it was about 12, 1 o'clock when I got back home, and I just didn't have appetite for it. I weren't hungry, but because I've been building it up for so long in the head and looking forward to it for so long, I said to her, like, we're just gonna have to do it. I'm just gonna have to order it and have it, and then we'll see. It might be nice. I might fancy it once it's here. Cool. I never had appetite for it. I forced it down. I felt sick, and now Domino's. I've just lost love for it now. It's put me off Domino's for life.
Yeah. What were you going to pizza?
It was some. Is that Meteor? Meteor pizza.
Oh yeah, I know the one.
With stuffed
It has to be meaty. It has to be
I paid for extra tub of chuffing sauce and they forgot to bring it. It just weren't from start to finish. It just weren't great, really. Yeah.
I've got iBoxingHub. Have we got to say other pizzas are available, or other pizza companies are available, something like that?
Yeah. You can't go wrong with McDonald's, can you? You can't go wrong.
I've never had a Domino's, mate. Honestly.
No, I said you can't go wrong with McDonald's, didn't you?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. You've never had a Domino's, though. That's
it's concerning.
Yeah.
Concerning because you see how fat my face is, so you're assuming that I have a lot of Domino's.
No.
That's some Turkish kebab.
I would recommend, to be fair, it's expensive for it is, yeah. No offense, Domino's, and you forget to bring sauces. So
Domino's cancel sponsorship right now.
Yeah,
they've stitched you there, mate.
If you're thinking about it, cancel it.
Just before we got you on, mate, we've just done a little bit on Delicious Ori retiring after his first professional bout. Did you get to see his bout the other week? Did you get a chance
I didn't watch it, mate. No, I didn't watch it. No.
It was we just said was it yesterday or the day before? Eric sent me through that he's retiring. So short, obviously he's only had that one bout, and like I was saying to you, then obviously his amateur career. He's been and done the job a lot. He was a big name coming into the sport. He had a lot of backing. He was just a bit of a shock to us all, really, I suppose. But he reckons he ain't got the fire to continue boxing, mate.
I guess it could be a gift and a curse. With having such a long amateur career. Obviously, like you say, maybe you can lose that fire for it and lose that love for it when you've been doing it for so long, for such a long time, since a young age. You can get to a point where I guess you lose that love for it. Like, because I've come into it at a relatively old age compared to like what you would usually come into it. I've come into it fresh, like pretty fresh, really, and I've got that newfound love for it. Where obviously I've not had it as a kid growing up or anything. So everything to me now is just everything's new to me. Everything's fresh. So I'm really enjoying the whole journey of it. But like you say, if you've had 100 amateur fights or what have you, I guess you could get sick of it and think I fancy a bit of a change. Actually when we went away to Spain training a couple months back, I reading in Boxing News magazine about that Delicious Ori, and he didn't he have a trial for WWE or something like that?
We just said that.
Yeah.
He got offered a contract. They offered him one. They offered him a contract apparently. So.
You never know. Might see him in lycra pants in a few months.
He's gonna take on Anthony Ogogo.
I'm not gonna lie.
Are you into WWE, Joe?
I wanted a kid. I used to love it as a kid, but no anymore. No.
Ricky's a massive fan of WWE, so that's going to cut him.
I used to be until Eddie Guerrero died. When he died, that was game over.
Because of them lycra pants, or
exactly because of those. Because I couldn't resist that Latino heat.
Right, there's so many big venues in boxing. Where is obviously you've just fought at Echo Arena, where is probably what I would expect you to say where you'd want to fight. Where's that one arena you want to fight in? But outside of that, where is it? Like one place you think I want to see myself there?
It'd have to be somewhere in America, like MGM Grand, something like that. One of the massive venues where you grow up watching Floyd Mayweather and then kind of fighters boxing. But yeah, like you say, it was originally Eco Power Stadium. I grew up watching football there, so that was the dream venue. But it got ticked off quicker than expected. So you never know. Maybe Madison Square Garden or something like that might get ticked off one day as well. You never know. The world.
Hey, listen,
it's all a dream.
If that happens, I need a ticket. When that happens, I need a ticket.
What did you make of the night then? Of the night of boxing for the Eco Power? What did you make of the night of boxing? How did you find it? Like the whole show from top to bottom? Was you there for all of it, or were you just there for your fight?
The first couple of fights, I was getting warmed up and that, so I missed them. And then after that, I was doing interviews and stuff. So I missed I missed the majority at night. Really, I think I come out last couple of rounds of Max Hughes fight, and then I managed to see Terry. So I missed all action in between. But no, the setup and everything, it was unbelievable. The ring walks and all that. It was class. I think they've done a really good job of it, to be fair. And it looks cracking night. That Mould and Sylvester looked a cracking fight from what I've seen of it.
Fight that. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, it looked a good night of boxing.
Yeah, it was a good night of boxing, to be fair. I think the only bad thing were probably too many rounds with too many fights on, and obviously it overran their licensing, so a lot of fans went home unhappy with I think there were two fights, weren't there? A couple of fights that were cancelled.
Yeah.
But to be fair, the lad I know, Jake Smith, he won that as for cash and dash, and he was buzzing because he was getting paid after the fucking fight.
I bet he took a few more of them, wouldn't he?
Job and knock.
Yeah, but
so Terry,
for lads who didn't get to box, it's upsetting, like, isn't it?
For someone like you, yeah. So Terry then called out Caroline Dubois after the fight, and obviously coming off the win with him and looking impressive, Rihanna Dixon. What do you make of that fight? How do you think about that one?
To be honest, I've never really seen much of Caroline Dubois, but what I have seen and what I've heard, she's quite a dangerous fighter. But Terry's a cute little boxer, so it make an interesting clash of styles, make an interesting fight. I think with obviously Dubois coming forward with pressure and Terry boxing.
Yeah, it's honestly for me one of those, as a fan, it's a great fight because Caroline Dubois has got that power, that one punch power, and then you have got the good boxing skills, the good movement, and the sharp shooting of Terry Harper. So it's one of those that I honestly, if that fight does happen, I cannot wait for that fight. Taylor as well. We had Taylor on the weekend. He came up. He had his debut at your weight class, welterweight. Fell a little bit short. Maybe time for him to hang up the gloves. Again, he's had an illustrious career. Very underrated, very unrecognised from the achievements he's actually caught and done. What did you make to that performance? Did you watch that card? Did you check in on that?
I did. Yeah, I watched that fight. Yeah, it's the fight I was looking forward to. That actually. I quite like Josh Taylor, to be fair. I like watching Josh Taylor because we've been quite similar to him myself. Obviously, I've been used as a sparring partner for Josh Taylor quite a lot.
Brilliant!
And so people say my style is pretty similar to Josh Taylor's, and obviously I'm pretty similar build in that. So I get a bit of sparring as a sparring partner for opponents of Taylor. So. No, I tend to watch a lot of Taylor and see what he does and try and mimic him sometimes. Yeah. But so I was looking forward to it, and obviously Echo as well. I sparred Echo a couple of weeks ago in preparation for this, and I was looking forward to watching it because of that spar with Echo. I thought, honestly, that he's called Engine for a reason. He's gas tank, unbelievable.
Yeah. How did you get on with him, Joe?
I boxed really well for maybe 3 or 4 rounds. Boxed really well, used my jab nicely, and then he's just gas tank took over, and I'm fit, and I usually push the pace in sparring, and he had me chuffing blowing. He did 12 rounds straight off. He did 6 for Jack Catchell and 6 for me, and he was still going just as fast as he wanted first round. In 12th round, honestly, he's fittest bloke I've ever seen. So that made me quite intrigued to watching this fight, really, because you know how good Josh Taylor is. Obviously, moving up. The question was, how much has he got left, and what's he going to be like at the bigger weight? So we're interesting, and then obviously we're sparring Echo and seeing how good he is and how fit and strong he is, seeing how Taylor going to cope with that sort of pressure, and it were a cracking fight, really, weren't it? You could see it fight how fit and strong Echo was, pushing pace ridiculously.
For me, it was a fight of 2 halves, really. I gave Echo a couple of rounds from the first half of the fight. I think he definitely won the 3rd round, and he probably nicked the 4th round. The 4th was a bit close, but after 6 rounds, I thought, Josh looks really well. He boxed really well, Josh. The first half of the fight, he boxed really well. He looked well, and then I don't know what it was with the second half. Obviously, Echo's engine kicked in, and he was doing. He started boxing really well, but I felt like I don't know if you agree, but Josh's corner wasn't giving him instructions of how to maneuver around the fight, other than telling him, "Oh, you're winning." That's all he just kept saying. They kept saying to him. Well, what I could hear anyway, they just kept saying, "Oh, you're winning. You're 2 rounds up. He needs these rounds." Instead of actually telling Josh, "Listen, you need to start doing this because the tide is changing, or you need to start doing this." I kind of felt like Josh's corner let him down a little bit in that fight.
Yeah, first few rounds, Taylor was brilliant, weren't he? He looked sharp as anything.
Unreal.
He did it. He looked top class in the first few rounds. I'm not sure, but it looked like he had Echo hurt a couple of times in the first couple of rounds. But it was a couple of them left hands.
Yeah,
he looked really good. But obviously, Echo weathered storm and come on really strong in the second half of the fight.
I think those first 2 rounds, Taylor showed his level in boxing. Those first 2 rounds, I watched the first round and I thought, Jesus, I thought Taylor is gonna. I thought Taylor was gonna wash this guy and really make a statement here, but no. Esselman just stood, like you say, he stood with it. Won a good 3rd round, 4th round a bit closer. Then after that, I feel like Taylor just sort of set the pace in the first 2, maybe for this new weight division, maybe just a little bit too fast, a bit too soon, and I think that might have been what sort of did him over a little bit. But like them first 2 rounds, he just showed his class and levels. But what's it like then being? So I saw in your corner, I learned you had Catterall. What's it like being amongst that type of elite professional fighter and also some people that you can learn from right there? What's that like?
Yeah, it's been being in gym with likes of them lot, because I like to sometimes I'll just train and sit back and I'll just watch them and see what they do, because they're where they are for a reason. So I like to just see what they do on in a training and how hard they train, and yeah, it's class. And to have like Jack in my corner helping Dave out, it was unbelievable. It just gives you that sort of, when you've got people like Dave and Jack in your corner, it gives you that, like, you feel invincible almost when you stood there and you've got them stood behind you, and you've got that caliber of fighter there, and they're so experienced, and in between rounds they're giving that experience to you, and they've not seen what situations you're in that ring. They've seen it themselves, so they know exactly how to cope with these situations. So you know for a fact, whatever you go through in that ring, when you go back to that corner in between rounds, you're going to have someone knowledgeable there that's been through it themselves, and they'll know exactly what to tell you.
Again, mate, for like the younger people that might watch this, or any boxers out there, you're living the dream, and you're sort of you're a local lad. You're down to earth. People can relate to you, Joe, if you know what I mean. Are you ever daunted when like you just did a bit of name dropping? You say you're sparring Echo and Jack Catterall's there and everything. Is it ever daunting, or was it at the first time when you start to go in and spar these people, or start to be amongst these people? What's that like? Yeah,
like first time I sparred Jack was like that was like the first world class fighter that I sparred, and I remember like you've watched these people on telly, and it's like, chuffing hell, how am I going to get near him? How am I going to even land a punch on him? It's just, it's just so daunting. And then, so obviously over time we've carried on going, and I've ended up getting quite good mates with Jack now. So it's it's lucky really to, like you say, be constantly training with people like that, mates with people like that. It's like if I ever want any help or any advice in gym, there's Jack, there's Connor, there's Aki, there's so many good fighters in that gym. Pat Brown, it's unbelievable. So if you ever need any help or advice, you just they're only a text or a phone call away. Do you know what I mean? It's class.
It's some great advice to have as well. So I want to really got one more just off the back of you sparring both Taylor and Esselman, which is, for me, is like unreal, that knowing that you're sparring these guys.
No, sorry, I never sparred Taylor. Sorry, I get used as sparring.
Used as Taylor.
Sparring.
Yeah,
right, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
that's a compliment, that, isn't it?
It's still a compliment. Yeah, very good compliment.
There's not many of us cackhanders. I think we're dying breeders cackhanders. That's why.
I'm a southpaw though, so I'm still living. But it's one of those where, so you're of similar style, and you've got Esselman. Who going into that without spoilers, I mean, come on, who would you have pegged for that fight? Who would you have had, like, on your initial thoughts?
Based purely off what you've seen in the past and what they've done experience-wise, you'd have to go Josh Taylor.
Yeah,
I would have fancied Taylor, to be honest. Without that spar with Esserman, if I hadn't have done that spar just before, and just going straight off them two, who you think is going to win, I would have said Josh Taylor, yeah. But then that spar sort of swung things for me, and I thought it's going to be interesting, this, because seeing what he's like and how hard he works and what his engine's like and how strong he is, you think it's going to be an interesting fight, this. And it was just how Taylor were going to match that work rate and sort of go with it, and also obviously how much he's got left and what he's like up at 147.
Just one more from me from the show on Friday. Obviously, Jimmy Joe, he lost the unanimous decisions on the cards, but he boxed 8 rounds with obviously one arm. How hard is that to do? Just explain to me how hard it is to stay in there with an injury and be able to box like Jimmy did. Just how hard is that?
It's hard enough with 2 arms sometimes, never mind one. It done chuffing. It's just, yeah, I'll take my hat off to Jimmy. Like, unbelievable effort from him. He's shown how much grit he has, how much heart he has to go in there and like you said, finish the what was second round, weren't it, that he did his shoulder?
Second round, yeah.
So to go 8 more rounds like that, it's some going, and yeah, he deserves to run that back and get his title back 100%.
Yeah,
last one from me, mate. Sorry, Ez.
No, go on.
Just last one from me, mate. Out of a cannon before we wrap up. And again, thank you for coming on, mate. We don't want to keep you. Canelo or Crawford?
Now you're putting it on me. I've got to go, actually.
We're going to play golf in future.
I think I'd heard Canelo's pretty good. I think, I don't know.
It's pretty good.
I'd have to go Crawford. I think I'm a massive Canelo fan as well. I love Canelo, but I think I'd have to go Crawford for that one.
I can't bet against Crawford. He's one of my favorite fighters, and he's one of those. It's one of those fights where you're like, logically, I should be going with Canelo because he's the bigger guy. He's done, you know what I mean. He's done it at that weight for a long time. But in my head, I'm just thinking, if anybody can beat Canelo moving up 3 weight classes with the skill set what Crawford has and how good he is that guy. And yeah, I've got faith he's going to pull it off. Hopefully, I've got faith. Ricky doesn't agree with us, but
I think Crawford beats Smoke Boys.
Last time I backed against Crawford, he absolutely demolished Errol Spence. So yeah, like you say, I'm not going against Crawford again. But I think Canelo's last few fights, he looks to be slowing down a little bit. I think, and like he's only getting older, and Crawford. He's just so good at adapting to people's styles. Like the Sean Porter fight with down on cards, and he went and stopped him in a round. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I just feel Crawford will adapt better in the fight, and with him being the lighter guy as well, he'll have the speed advantage over Canelo. Obviously, yeah. Canelo's got the size and the strength, but Crawford's a strong man himself, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's an interesting fight, but I just think. I think Crawford can adapt to what Canelo brings. I think he's got the speed advantage over him as well.
Yeah. I think also with Canelo's last performance as well. I know obviously it wasn't great because William Skull was going around the ring, but I didn't expect much from William Skull. And Canelo being like the pound for pound fighter and how good he is, he should be able to adapt to a style like that. And struggling with William Skull and getting to a William Skull, if Crawford moves his feet just a little bit and stands a little bit more, how are you going to be able to cope with Crawford? Because
his feet look like they're slowing down.
The thing is, it depends on what gets him out of bed. Like, is this Crawford fight going to be the fight that gets him out of bed? Like, you got to think since Bivola's been cruising, he has been cruising. So this is a big fight. I don't see him taking this one too lightly. So I think this one might be the one that gets him back out of bed, personally. So we'll see anyway. We'll see. It's a great fight.
As long as both the best version of both of them turns up, I'll be happy, because that's all I ever want in fights. The best version of fighters turning up, us as fans will get the best fight possible.
It's a super fight, isn't it? It's one of probably it's a super fight, isn't it? I think it's the biggest fight that we would have seen since maybe Mayweather Pacquiao. I think it's one of them ones, isn't it?
Yeah.
The only fight I'm more excited for, mate, is you and Conor Walker for that British title.
No.
We'll caption the show. Joe Hayden calls out Conor Walker.
Yeah.
No. I'm not going back to Manchester if that's the case. I won't go my face again.
Joe, thank you so much for your time, mate. I think we've learned a lot about you, like being able to relate to you a bit more, being like a local lad. Really appreciate your time coming on, mate, and I hope we can have you on again in future, mate, when you're just going onwards and upwards and keep going on.
Yeah, definitely. No, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
No, we appreciate you. Thank you, Joe.
I'll be looking out for you, Joe. See if you're running Mount Village anytime soon. Anyway.
Hey, I was going to come on with Donny Top. I was watching it. I seen you at Donny Top. I thought I might put Donny Top on.
I'm glad you did, mate. You've saved yourself.
He's a excited fan, really. He's just doing that on purpose. You're a Donny fan now. United are rubbish.
Yeah, that's
nice.
Full time Donny now.
Joe, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it. Anything you post or anything like that, we're more than happy to share, and we'll happily have you back on again.
Thank you, lads. I'm happy to come on anytime. Appreciate it.
All right,
thank you,
appreciate
Joe.
it. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Cheers.
Well, lads.
Cheers, Joe. Thanks, mate. I enjoyed that, lads. Did you?
Yeah, that was good. That was Joe Hayden from Doncaster, Conisbrough, 18-0 now.
18-0.
Welterweight. I appreciate Joe coming on. That was really good. Trey in the comments, big up Joe. Thank you, Trey. S-Boy13. I'm not sure you are, but it seems it's the first time I've seen your name. Welcome to the channel.
Crossroads, brother.
Yeah. Why are you crossing the S's for?
The S's because it's a cross. I think Lidster's got our back on that one. The three caps are back. Yeah, we missed you, CJ, with your cap. Without your cap, I don't know what's happening with.
It's a crime not to have Eric's talking about his screen again, making it all about him.
CJ, it's a crime not to have a Domino's. If you could see my waistline at the minute after an all-inclusive in Turkey, Libster, you wouldn't be advising me to go and have a Domino's, mate. I'll tell you that.
Is that enough Domino's for all of us?
I've had enough kebab to sink a ship.
Boys, we're going to call it a show. We've had Joe on for 40 minutes. Very good interview. There's there's Caleb Panther and Jamal Charlo both fighting this weekend. We have done a prediction league for that, but a lot of that card, I'm not familiar with a lot of the fighters. Neither is Ricky or CJ. Going through it really. We'll just be losing everybody really on that one. Especially, I don't want to talk about fighters I don't know. I'd rather research them up first and then start talking about them.
Yeah,
I am going for a Caleb Plant win and Jamal Charlo. I don't even know.
It's got to be Jamal Charlo. It's got to be Jamal.
I know, but yeah, and Jamal Charlo. UD.
I know, but
Caleb Plant stoppage. Jamal Charlo UD.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going.
I don't know yet, and I haven't looked too much into it, but I'll have a look soon enough. But yeah, CJ, what's yours?
Yeah, I don't think you can see too much past that, can you? Caleb Plant for a stoppage. I wouldn't like to back against Charlo. He's a fantastic fighter, isn't he?
Animal.
Yeah.
Just that last comment there, guys. Libster, great show, guys. Up the cross. Thank you very much.
Up the cross.
We've all been speaking Well, to be fair, I've been speaking today. My Wi-Fi and signal's been shite in Turkey, but we're going to aim to get as many people as we can on the show. All right, dude. Hey. We're going to try and get as many people as we can on the show. People like Joe Hayden's. We're definitely going to get Jamie Mellors on the show. I know he's interested. Hopefully next week we're going to have Jack Gladman on as well, who's a boxing promoter. So that's something a little bit different. Get sort of his opinions, his views when you're outside of the ring and you're trying to match fighters, you're trying to make shows, stuff like that. So that'd be a good angle to get from. Thank you to everyone for tuning in again. We're getting from strength to strength. We're getting about a bit now as well. Eric and Ricky obviously went to the show. They're going to shows again next month. It's all happening, guys. Keep up with the cross. And before you know it, we'll be millionaires and we'll just be memes, won't we? We'll be the three cat memes all over Facebook.
We'll be streaming this shit on our yachts.
we could help, boys. We could help. But listen, everybody tuning in. We've got 76 people tuning in live right now. So we really appreciate every single one of you. If you could retweet, share, like the show, so we can keep getting this engagement from you guys, really would be appreciated. And we will be back on Tuesday. Are we back Tuesday? Because we haven't got a recap show.
Probably we'll discuss it. We
may have an interview next week. We may pop up with a live interview next week anyway. So
all I want to say is everyone that's watching, everyone that's live, honestly, jumping on the comments. No comment's a stupid comment, I hope. But unless it's from me. But honestly, we'll try and keep everybody involved as much as possible. It makes the show a better place for us. We enjoy it. We love the communication. Like, share, and subscribe if you like what you've seen. And that's it. Job's a good one.
Job's a carrot.
Job's a carrot.
Yeah.
Use that logo, CJ. I made your logo in AI. Use it.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Right. I'm out, people. See you next week. Peace.
It's another band. All the Muslim cars now, whichever get up. I start my card with a sweet one, please. Someone flicks me a back by the end. So, it's another one, yeah. It's a full screen, yeah.